I got to go through the live action issues of seeing if we're live or not. That's always the biggest issue. And we are.
Awesome.
I think
Go
so,
ahead.
anyway. All
My
right.
phone is telling me we're live. Hold on.
All right.
There we go. I see it on here. You
Glasses
realize
are
that?
off. That way people can see my eyes. And aloha, lohali, signing in. And today we have the very first guest appearance of aMeskeOHJ. And hello, Migs. How are you doing? Today's content is going to be about the biggest cliches in manga. You know, it can be shonen, seinen, shoujo. Anything that we want to talk about is what we're going to talk about. And OJ is 100% prepared. OJ, if you want to give him if you want to give the audience a little hello and tell them what your expertise in this cliche is.
Well, I guess I'll start with my usual video welcome. Um, I actually just completely forgot my opening is. Hey guys, my name is aMeskeOHJ, and we are here to do a live stream. So there you go.
It's
uh,
going to be a good
what is it?
time. Uh,
Hey man.
and Migs is absolutely saying hello. Do you have any, before we get started, as usual, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments in the live stream or in the comments down below. But what are some of your favorite cliches so we can maybe touch on them just a little bit? And, you
Hold on
know,
just a second. All right, there we go.
you ready?
Yeah, sorry. I was looking at my camera. I'm like, this is kind of a little. So,
There we go. You feel
oh
better
yeah. So
framed?
my cliches. I mean, there's a lot of shonen cliches. There's usually the usual like lineup of characters that usually are the same. You have your lead, and then yeah, other characters usually have the same kind of there's a lot of the same likeness. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. And they
can you hear me?
all, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Is my audio going down or something?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, this is just being really weird on us in the last minute. I think it's being all wonky.
And before we
Okay.
dive into the cliches, what one volume do you recommend that Migs gets this month?
That what?
What one volume do you recommend that Migs gets this month?
Mix gets this month.
What is the
Uh,
must-have January manga?
oh. Hold on a minute. Actually, it's right here. And I know. It really depends. I think he's a dog person, so I'm not sure if he'll like this. But Nyan Keys. Hey, Jin.
What's up?
There we go. We got him in.
This is an odd beginning to this live stream.
Oh no, this is how all of our beginnings usually go.
All right, let's see.
Right.
Oh man. But uh and Jen obviously say hello, you know the usual breakdown.
What's up, guys? Jen Graves here.
And who is the publisher for that manga? The
Oh, Yen Press.
Yen Press.
You guys can see that, or yeah.
All right, there we go. Hold it back up. I got you at large screen again. Right there.
Live.
Awesome. Boom.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
screen kind of. Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the cliches in manga. Um, let's. You said that it all starts with the main character, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so how does it start with the main character?
Well, like the latest, obviously the thing that they've been doing for the past couple of years, is everybody's been trying to copy off Naruto. The main character style, like Black Clover did, and My Hero Academia kind of did. Well, in the beginning, it did. A lot of the same, type of characters.
And how so? Is it just how they interact with other characters around them? Is it their thought
Well,
style?
their attitude, like Deku. I don't really know. He's really never gave up. Kind of a. Yeah, I don't think that's really his thing. That's more of a Asta's thing. But
I think I think it really started back though whenever um, Goku kind of came out.
yeah,
I
uh,
think you have your
I think it really
happy-go-lucky
started back though.
character that wants to do right and kind of has like, I wouldn't say a darker side, but more of a serious side.
Mm-hmm.
That is like whenever it comes down to like a battle or whatever, they're like, you talk bad about my friends, you know, something like that. And they always have like huge appetites for food or whatever, like, you know.
I'm glad you brought up the hair, because they straight up always have the most like ridiculous, over the top hairstyles, like Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh. Obviously
Oh, right.
Goku. But think about that. You cannot name a character who doesn't have a crazy hairstyle. Yeah. And
Wait,
Mel.
I can.
Who?
There's only one character though.
Who?
Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Hakusho. That is the only like super normal haircut for any protagonist.
Oh man.
One yet?
Boom. There's Fire Force.
Oh yeah, did you see it?
Yep. But yeah, I mean, these crazy over the top hairstyles just let you pick out the character a lot easier on stage. But you see characters who have that hairstyle, but then they'll also have a ravenous appetite like Goku, or they'll have a ridiculously crazy attitude.
Right. There you go. We should do a another tournament one of what anime character has the most ravenous appetite.
We all know who wins that. It's got to be Toriko.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I'd say Goku.
I mean, Luffy's pretty close to that.
Have you seen the amount of food that Toriko can throw back? He literally eats mountains of food. That's not even a joke. Goku can eat tables. Luffy can eat tables. But man, Toriko throws back mountains.
Mountains.
Yeah. Oh, One Punch Man has a bald protagonist. And that actually brings me to a good point. Manga that break the mold. I
have a good example right here, actually.
Perfect. Oh, Dr. Stone. Okay, and this is, by the way, I always want to point this out. Like, half the people are like, man, I don't know if I want to read Dr. Stone. It seems super cliche. Man, that first volume was, weak. I was like, just read the second volume and you will be hooked. And am I wrong in thinking that the second volume changes a lot?
Oh,
OJ.
But the third volume, bro. The third volume. That is even more of a game changer.
It is. It's a life-changing, affirmation-changing thing, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Like, Dr. Stone is a great way to break cliches. What do you think, OJ?
Yeah, definitely. I think. Well, I don't think it's a really good example, because I think the best way to break cliches is to try things that are different. If somebody copied Dr. Stone, it would just be kind of like a cliche building up from there. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Jin?
I don't know. I mean, feel like right now we're kind of at a whole point, and I mean, it's just more like what's popular. Like whatever genre it is, like at the time. A lot of times we'll have like a handful of genres that are good at that time, and everybody makes manga based off of those genres. And then it's kind of like we're waiting for the next one to come out, and then it starts a new genre after that, because everybody's like, I really enjoy this. So then everybody starts making ideas based off of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
It's... So, do you think that cliches kind of come in waves? Like, we'll see some cliches, and then it'll ebb and flow?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Another good one besides Dr. Stone from this year is now I forgot the name. Promise Neverland.
Promise Neverland is really, really good at breaking conventional shonen cliches. However, I think that's because it draws a lot of inspiration from seinen manga. Like, it's a shonen that draws from seinen, and that's
just like Attack on Titan.
And Attack on Titan, I think, started that big violent draw that we've been seeing in shonen of recent years. And I'd actually wager to say that Attack on Titan started cliches of its own.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like Tokyo Ghoul kind of caught on to that too, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, you originally had something that was kind of originally Shonen wasn't quite as bloody as it currently is. Um, you take a look back at Dragon Ball Z, you take a look back at One Piece originally, Naruto originally, Bleach. Like, they weren't really that bloody. People weren't dropping dead left and right. But then this new horde of them, you have obviously Attack on Titan and Promised Neverland. They are
I think part of that has
bloodbaths.
to do with also the fame of Berserk. Has to deal with part of that.
I think so too. I think Berserk has influenced the modern artist
Kind
just because of how old it
became
is.
more of a thing again. Became
Absolutely.
a huge hype train
Right.
and everything. Jimmy?
Yeah,
It's kind of like that whole scene from like the El Dorado, the movie, where like you're sitting there and you see the part where they get done with that ball game or whatever, and the guy's like, "Oh, this guy's a god," da da da, and then he bleeds, and he's like, "Gods don't bleed."
Oh,
It's kind of like that.
the road,
like you see,
the road to El Dorado.
yes,
Yeah, I saw that.
That was a great movie.
And like,
right. But that's how it kind of is. Like almost like we went this whole time like everybody was like a god. They didn't. Well, a road to El Dorado, like gods, like there wasn't any blood. People don't bleed. People don't do all this, and then. In the movie, finally, the guy accidentally like gets hit in the forehead and bleeds a little bit, and they're like, oh, "He's not a god; he bled."
Oh god,
well,
but now,
yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, OJ, first you go first, man.
Oh well, I was gonna say I think that some of it has to do with if you look at the manga that have been coming out for seinen in the last couple of years, you have Tokyo Ghoul, you have the rise of Berserk again, you have like Fire Punch, which isn't like the best example because it's not very big known, and then you have Goblin Slayer. You just have so many series that are coming out that are bloody and gory and shock edgy. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
Yeah. There's other ones too. I'm pretty sure, like maybe Vinland Saga. I'm not sure if Vagabond is bloody or not.
Vagabond is. I wouldn't necessarily consider it bloody. What do you think, Jen? Do you think Vagabond's necessarily bloody in the same sense as some of these?
I would say at times it's probably more bloody. Just because they do go off of the whole samurai life, and sometimes you get to see it because they'll go off of like the I forgot what it's called. It's a certain strike, like right when you pull the blade out as fast as you can.
I think
And you'll see the person get hit, but then you won't see the blood splatter because they're fall down on the ground or whatever. But then there's sometimes where there's a fight scene where the person like they cut them so much that you just see blood the whole time. So that one kind of plays back and forth, I think, with it.
See, now I'm
Also-
I'm trying to remember the name of that strike. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to remember the name of the strike. You go on your tangent. I need to find the name of the strike.
If you're thinking about like the old manga where they had no blood, I mean, My Hero Academia and World Trigger here, they don't have any blood in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's with World Trigger, I think they've tried to get around it with some other manga because they have that whole thing where they have the gore factor kind of where you can get your head lopped off, but then like you're kind of like a robot or like whatever their suits are called. I can't remember what it is.
Exactly.
They're oh come on, wrong fingers. I have one hand I can do this with, the other hand I can't really as well. So.
Yeah, because there's scenes in World Trigger I was like, oh no, that's not even right.
Trion.
Yeah, Trion suits. They try on the suits for Trion, and the name of the sword style that you're thinking of is AI Jutsu. It's Art of the Quick Draw.
Yeah.
IAI Jutsu.
Oh. Yeah. EI?
Yeah, EI.
Yeah.
And on that farm, he had a quick draw sword.
Which, so I got to tell you, I've been playing Warriors Orochi 4, and I really like how they stuck with that character for Miyamoto Musashi. Of one of his weapons, I mean, all their weapons are like 10 times bigger than it should be.
Oh, of course.
But they stuck with the tradition of like when you saw it in Vagabond of him having the short sword, the wakabayashi,
Yeah.
and then him having the giant wooden katana sword. And I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. I love playing as that character just because of, I read Vagabond and the stereotype of him using a wooden sword most of the time to actually, take out some of these guys stuck as it being one of the more powerful renditions of his weapon in, across time, basically in a game that like just came out last year, stuff like that. So keeping with the tradition of it, I really like how they've done that.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Goku with his power pole.
Oh, yeah, with I can't remember what it's called.
His power pole is just power pole.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
It's got a name to it.
the crap out of people, but it just extends and just whomps everybody.
Yeah, because doesn't it have a name to it though? He has to say whatever the name is. Extend.
Powerful
It's
extend.
yeah, he literally just says power pole extend.
Oh, okay. I feel like in the manga it had a different name to it. Like he said a name.
I don't know.
And then he had Nimbus.
Are you thinking of, because he'd always say Nimboun, but the name of the power pole is based off of the Ryu Jingu Bang or the Nyoi Kinko Bo. He might have also said bow staff. That's another common term for it.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, because I know I like the other cliche. I feel like with a lot of stuff now, and it's where we get a lot of our ideas from are actually like myths and other stuff like that. Because I mean, using Goku for example, he's actually based off of the Monkey King. That's how he has the flying cloud, and he has the bow staff, and different stuff like that, and obviously the monkey tail.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so here's something I want to ask both of you. What is your least favorite cliche that appears in manga? And we're going to go with OJ first.
Least favorite cliche. Okay.
Least favorite cliche.
Least like the one I dislike the most, or one I like the most.
The one that you the one that you hate the most. The one that you're like, man, they need to get rid of this.
This might be a little convoluted in a way. It's a really small thing, but like, I'm not really liking the tsundere aspects.
Okay. An anti-tsundere man.
The idea where there's a main character who the lead female's always punched. That's an old thing. It's not new. It's not anything anymore, but it used to be a thing back with like Naruto and Bleach, that kind of stuff.
Oh, where the lead person's a male?
No.
Whatever they call them.
How Tsunade was a tsundere. Somebody who always seems very mad and angry, but deep down she secretly likes you.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I know all these definitions, boys.
Oh, dude, I don't know any of these definitions.
Well, you have your tsundere, yandere, kudere, and dandere. And the tsundere, and I always pronounce it wrong. My tongue always does weird things, so I apologize. Anyway, the tsundere is mean, hostile, and violent on the outside, but she's soft, kind, and sweet on the inside. The yandere is sweet, gentle, and loving when you first get to know her, but becomes deranged, violent, and brutal when love struck. An example of that,
Sakura.
Yeah, and actually Sakura would be. She's a tsundere towards. Sakura is a tsundere towards Naruto, and she doesn't really have.
It's like a false tsundere.
Yeah, actually, she'd be a kudere, because the yandere. Have you read Future Diary?
Yeah. I've heard of it. I've heard of it plenty of times. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the main chick is kind of.
So the main chick in there is a yandere.
Main chick. I mean, the main female character in that.
Main chick.
And then after yandere, you have the kudere, which is cool, calm, unemotional, and aloof. But she's serious, but she shows a softer side later on. And then your final one is the dandere, extremely shy, antisocial, quiet, but becomes more confident because of love. And that one is obviously Hinata from Naruto.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, I guess tsundere, but I think let me just kind of think of a different one, because that one is kind of like a smaller one. Let me think of a bigger one a minute. You go ahead, Jin. You take your turn a minute. I'll think about it this minute.
Jin's already got his ready to go.
Go ahead.
Oh, you think so, do you?
I know so. I know you're...
You think so, laddie?
Am I wrong?
Yes, you're totally wrong. I'm trying to like take in these words, and I'm like, what?
Okay, so what's your least favorite cliche? Just so I can remind you of the question.
Right. I don't know. I mean, probably my least favorite one is, I mean, it's more like focus though, like focus fire.
That's okay.
I really hate where they, and it's more focused slice of life ones. I really hate how we have like seasonal chapters and we don't really have seasonal chapters in like regular stuff. Like it's kind of the cliche that doesn't transform over every place, because we'll have like in slice of life where oh, it's Christmas time, oh, it's Halloween, oh, it's this, it's that, and obviously they go with that for like the year and stuff, but you never get to really see that in other like manga. Like if there was a Christmas special scene for like Dragon Ball Z or something, I think it would be a lot cooler. Or just a lot of different stuff where you had those holidays added into it or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I think that would be a lot of fun to see, because that helps add a little bit more real world aspect to the manga overall.
Yeah. I want to actually add on to this actually a minute. There's also one other thing that I don't really. They do change this once in a while, but I wish the characters not. It's kind of, I don't know if it's going on right now, but I hate how the characters always wear the same clothes all the time. Like they change their clothes.
Oh yeah, that's very true too. Sometimes
like Goku has like a million of the same outfit in his classic.
Well, here's the funny thing. I was reading Eden Zero, and I actually noticed that this week, so far in 28 chapters, they've had about 3 or 4 outfit changes.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too.
Which sounds really dumb that I think that I noticed that, and I think that's cool. But I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is what needs to happen. We need to have more clothes changes. It took Luffy 9 months to change his shirt.
Right.
Yep.
And now
I don't think my shirt's stinky enough yet. I'm still going with it.
Think about those, like they can't, like you ever think about pirates? They usually probably do wear the same thing.
I mean, but they could at least like lie to us. Like Fairy Tail did really good because Natsu would like burn up his clothes, and then you were like, and then you'd see him put on the same outfit, but you're like, at least it got ruined.
At least, or Goku drops his weighted clothes and leaves him on a planet to explode.
Right.
So
we know he had to change.
So my least favorite cliche is the most widely used cliche in all of manga history. You ready for this?
Big one. Here we go.
And this isn't just for a protagonist. This isn't just for antagonists. But who the hell has time to yell their attack name when they're about to do a sneak attack?
Oh, right.
They're like,
I agree with you.
They're like perfectly silent. They're like, no one say a single word as I sneak up on him. And he's within 5 feet, and he just yells, Super Snake Slash! And you're like, what? Like after, I'd be cool with that if you chopped him in half and you went, yeah, that was my Super Snake Slash. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But you tell people to be quiet as you're sneaking up to kill him, and then you yell Super Snake Slash and slam down, and then, no, that is my least favorite cliche of all time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they should think it instead of say it.
I don't know, because in Fire Force, they say that you should give your abilities names because it helps you focus on it more.
Oh yeah,
and it kind of goes the same thing with like Ice Shield 21, where they're like, you're gonna do the Devil Bat Dive, like it puts an image in your head for you to focus on that. So I guess like and so they don't mess up.
Well, here's the thing: is in iShield 21, and as we all know, I'm probably one of the biggest iShield 21 fans around. Even though I only have one of them in my collection because I am super unlucky when it comes to finding them in stores. But he never actually says the name of his attack while he's doing it. Like, it'll just pop up as a bubble to describe what's going on in the scene.
The wind says it.
Seven Deadly Sins is the worst at this. He's like, oh, by the way, boys, I have my full counter. And you're like, oh, crap.
Oh my god, they are so. That's the worst manga when it comes to abilities. Like not abilities, but like they name everything, and how does this make sense for this, and how does that make sense? It has to make sense. It has to come from somewhere, It just doesn't make sense when they look up piece of background or origin.
I want to play off of yours though, Lohali. I really hate the cliche when somebody has to have a name that's longer and bigger than the other person's name when they use their ability.
Like if the name isn't longer, it's not going to be stronger.
Yeah, like if it's like the Kamehameha wave or whatever, and it has to be the super omega cosmic,
Here's my suit, and all that it is like a little extra power, and you're like, you didn't need to do that, guys. Like,
right.
here's my Rasengan. Here's my Rasen Shuriken. Here's my molecular destroying Rasen Shuriken double Jinchuriki Beta Blast. I was like, okay, now this is too far. I was like, Naruto has 3 moves. He has Sexy no Jutsu, he has Clone Jutsu, and he has Rasengan. That is it. And everything else that he has is a variation on that. Like, if you can name me one move, Sage Mode is a little bit different, but if you can name me a move that is strictly his move, it can't be the Jinchuriki. All right, what do we got?
1,000 Years of Death.
That was from Kakaishi.
Yeah, but he used it too at one time. It was funny.
But yeah, think about that, man. Like,
that's not even real, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm just making jokes.
I mean, I can't say much because Goku only has one move. 2. Sorry.
He has Kaioken,
right.
doesn't he?
He has so 3. He has a power up, which is Kaioken and Super Saiyan. He has the Kamehameha wave, and he has teleportation.
Spirit Bomb.
Oh, right. He has 4. He's better than Naruto so far.
It's called the Super Dragon Fist or something like that, or I don't know what it's called.
Well, I mean, he's got the fusion too, but that's with help.
That's with help.
Yeah.
And technically, the OG Spirit Bomb is supposed to be with help as well.
Solar Flare.
Technically, that's Tien Shinhan's move.
Yeah.
That is.
If you watch the early like Dragon Ball aMeskeOHJ, like every move that was like Yamcha's or Master Roshi's or whatever, they kind of all traded abilities together.
Yeah, literally everyone got the Kamehameha. Like everybody.
Yamcha's Spirit Bomb.
I mean, I guess.
Uh-oh. Chat's gone quiet.
I think he froze.
Oh no.
Are you back yet, Jin?
I never left.
You paused on us.
But
yeah, so those are some.
I instant teleported behind you and then back in my chair.
Calm down, Goku. You can't do that right now. So, those are kind of the least favorite cliches, but what's one of your favorite cliches? I'm going to give you a second to think about this. What's a cliche that you go, yeah, I love seeing this every single time?
I always like, and I mean, it's like a super cliche, I always like the characters being happy-go-lucky, and then them having that whole like friendship thing where like if you talk bad about their friends or something, then they get like pissed off and they get serious. That's probably one of my favorite ones. I mean, yeah.
So you love Fairy Tail,
Luffy. I mean, everybody, Naruto, One Piece, like everybody, all of our main ones like really do that.
I mean, Fairy Tail was like the main one who did that with the friends and everything. They were like the one everybody knows when you think of friends.
Which annoys me because that whole friendship thing has people have tainted Eden Zero. They're like, oh, Eden Zero is all about friendship. I was like, no.
Oh, poor Eden Zero.
Eden's like the first chapter of Eden Zero. I'll admit says friendship way too many times, but like in 28 chapters in a manga by Hiro Mashima, they've only mentioned friendship like maybe 40 times, which is phenomenal because 23 or 24 of those was in the first chapter.
Yep, that's true.
But and the first chapter was kind of weak. Don't get me wrong. The first chapter of Eden Zero was a little weak, but that end of the first chapter was baller. I was like, oh. Like when
I love it all. I love it all.
Like I was reading that first chapter, and I'm gonna do a whole live stream dedicated to Eden Zero. But that first chapter, like I was reading it, and I was like, man, this is pretty okay. I was like, this is good. You know, it's not top tier. This is pretty good. But that last like couple like pages, because do you have it, Jin? Do you have Eden Zero yet? I can't remember.
I just have the first one.
You have the first one?
Yeah, the first volume.
Give me some time to read the scans a little bit first, so I can kind of get caught up with you, or however you read it. And then I can get on that too, or I can just get in the chat either way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, but the very first, like Eden Zero is, in my opinion,
next month.
What the volume 3 comes out? Yeah, I think next month. February.
Volume 2 comes out next month.
Oh, is it volume 2? Dang it, I'm so far behind.
Yeah.
Cool about that one.
Like, I'm so far into the future. I don't know when the old.
I don't even need to know. Oh, power levels.
Is it like the like the lettering how it was blue in the first volume? Well, they change different color for each volume, so it's gonna be like blue. I think the next one's red, so it's kind of cool. I don't know. I like this kind of little stuff. It interests me. I don't
know. And so old shaman says that Yancha even had the Wolfang Fist ability.
Yeah, that was a ball. Yeah, that was awesome.
But then he learned the Kamehameha Wave from Master Roshi, just because that's how everybody learned it. And JJ Candelabra says that power levels are one of the worst.
Oh, yeah. Well, power levels were cool when it was, because remember, if you watched Dragon Ball Z back in the day, when Goku first went Super Saiyan, that was not like a bad thing. That was freaking sweet as hell.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
but I think there's a difference between power, like. I think there's a difference between power ups and powers, like power levels and power scaling.
Oh yeah. No, my bad. I did not hear that. Right.
Like how because once a manga starts to introduce power levels, like numbered power levels instead of just like S rank, B rank, they're like this guy has a 100 power level and this guy has a 150, and that's when I'm like, oh. It's about to get over the top.
And it started because of the scouter.
Yeah. Oh, it started there. And do you know why they eventually ended up ending it?
Because it
ending the power level thing.
Yeah, like saying it out loud.
Because it was so high that it was getting so high out.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, over the top. Like Frieza, eventually they went from 9,000 to Frieza had like a 1.5 million power level, and they're like. No, we need to end this, guys. It's way over the top.
Why did you make the scouter?
Right. Well, I really like they brought it back up in like where the scouters were first made in Broly in the movie that just came out, and so that was really cool. But they did the whole shout out like, "Oh, the power level's immeasurable," and you're like, "So we're done with this now, right?" Okay, good.
Oh yeah, like power levels get out of hand way too fast.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I think that's one thing that I really like in dungeon crawlies, because like they have the whole it's an ability you learn or it's something like that. It's not an actual like level like Lohali learns water magic and then he learns greater water magic and then he learns fire magic like based off of that, you're like a tier 3 whatever. So I like how they spread it out in dungeon crawling manga a lot of the time.
And I think adding tiers is good, because you're like, okay, this guy's a C rank, he can work all the way up to S rank. But they're not giving you solid power levels, so it can be like, okay, he jumped from C to A because he beat a person in A class. It could be because his abilities are better, it could be because he is more technically savvy, but it's not because. It's not like a level 100 power level beat a 1,000 power level, and you had to do some weird BS to get him to there.
And I think that with Naruto, up until like after Oh, I think that when after he got his first, like, what do you call it, his cloak, his first golden cloak, every power up after that point just became too much, I think. But it was great before that. I think it was actually pretty cool before that. Everything was cool there.
Yeah, like just ridiculous. So what's a manga in your opinion that's kind of bucking the trends of cliches? Like what's something that is a cliche? Actually, you know what? Before we discuss cliche buster manga, let's talk about manga that are the cliche.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to say my favorite
Oh,
cliche.
what is your
Or my
favorite cliche? Yeah, my bad.
Well, this is gonna come off. Um, this is gonna come off kind of like, because I know people do not like this at all. I know even some of us here do not like this at all. But for me, and one of the things, like, I know Jin's gonna say, well, what about Goblin Slayer? But
What a butt! I can't believe you.
all right, here I'm just gonna say it. I like a little bit of edginess in my manga, just a little bit, not like a buttload, you know. I like a little edginess.
I'm
I know you need one, you guys.
well,
It's like for me with like
Think
Tokyo
of the
Ghoul,
children, though.
I think there's a
No,
difference.
not like I'm talking about like the crazy, like the, let's say, incest and that kind of stuff. I'm talking more like the
You're talking about like not Monster Musume, where they actually like show like boobs and butt and everything. You're talking about like Naruto, where it's like kind of that appeal, but it's not really there. You're not seeing anything.
No, not even that really. I'd say it's kind of like if you have an action high octane manga where it's really a lot of like there's a lot of things happening at once. Sometimes when there's a little bit of edge, there's a lot of violence or a lot of like, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It kind of helps it kind of, it helps a little bit,
For me, like that kind of etchiness, that fan service, it depends on one, context, and
Fan
two,
service.
like etchiness. I think in a kid series, I don't think we don't need
Yeah.
like something that is
100%.
specifically for kids, like a seinen manga. Go ahead, have as much etchy as you want. I'm fine. Like I'll read seinen all
No,
the
no.
Time. Like
I don't want I don't want a lot of say edginess. I just mean like I like a little bit because it helps some of the for me, what manga can I say? Like
Were
for
you like were you like Naruto? You were like Tsunade came out and you were like,
the best
heck
example is
yeah. Or what's the girl Lohali, I always forget her name. The girl from Bleach that's under the ice guy.
Under the Ice Guy.
this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Rangiku.
Yeah, Rangiku.
You know, Rangiku comes out and you're like, oh yeah, waifu material right there.
Oh
I mean,
man.
it's not even. I don't even know if it's edginess really that I can say that. I think it's more just the violence. Like sometimes like if you see a Tokyo Ghoul where they just kind of like they have Hakune and it goes, they just they're freaking, maybe it's just like that. Maybe it's just the I don't know. I have no idea how to explain it. Just I like the ride. I like the rush.
Yeah. And actually, that's another cliche. I guess I finally realized my other least favorite cliche, and that is fan service where it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, that's
All right.
well, my voice is so weird. I tell Jen all the time, I do not go for cute girl manga because I don't like feeling like I've been played. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That when there's a cute girl on the cover, I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna pass you most of the time because it's just like I know what you're going for there, and I don't know if I like this.
Like History's Strongest Disciple Kenichi
Right.
with Mai. But okay, so what is your least favorite manga that embraces the cliche? Like you look at this manga, you're like, man, this is the worst of the worst. Like this manga is only cliche material, and like not in a good way.
Oh man. Like my favorite cliche, like edginess.
No. Like, what is your like a manga? For me, it would be. I'll go first, just so you guys can have an example. Like, we all know my love of Hiro Mashima. Like, I love Eden Zero. I love Rave Master. I don't like Fairy Tail, and there's a reason for that. It always leans on the friendship cliche. It's always all about friendship all the time. How did you get your power? Well, it was for the power of friendship. That is a manga that literally embraces cliches. They say the name of their attack every single time. It's all about friendship all the time. It is. It just takes the cliches and it doesn't do anything new with them. It just rides it out, and that bothers me. So that's what I'm talking about. It's like a manga that kind of, when it talks about the cliche, you're like, I'm not feeling it.
Oh,
I have to say, like, I'm on the same level with you, Holly. I think Fairy Tail kind of the same thing, but I think that's probably I don't really know if there's another manga I can think that has like cliches where the cliche is the reason I don't like it. But maybe probably Fairy Tail. That's what I can think of really.
y'all are both horrible human beings. I can't believe you.
Why? Just because I love Mishima and I think Rave Master is an amazing masterpiece, but Fairy Tail is let down.
I mean, Hiro Mashima though has kind of set himself up to do that, like with Eden Zero, reading it where he activates his power, like he has to say something about it to activate it, you know?
As far as we know so far.
Yeah, but in Fairy Tail, because it's magic-based, you actually have to say the ability to use it.
But why? Why couldn't you make it... Like in Harry Potter, you don't have to speak the spells if you train hard enough, and all these guys are elite of elite level wizards, and they all have to say, "My fire punch!"
Fire punch. Oh wait, that's
like, Natsu is basically a Pokemon. He knows Fire Wheel, like Iron Fist, Dragon Punch, Dragon Fang, and just all that stuff.
Fire punch.
I got you covered. Don't worry.
Oh God, that's.
I can't reach mine. Mine's over there on the table.
Here's Tokyo Ghoul.
I can't reach that one. It's on my shelf.
Man, Tokyo Ghoul, like when I read it for the readathon, I have so much respect for the manga now. It's crazy. Like I love it now. I'm absolutely in love with Tokyo Ghoul now.
I haven't gotten to read to the end of it. But what I've read, I like it. I enjoy.
If you ever read it, try to read like in bundles. Like try to read the first half and the second half, because I mean, I read it like in separate times when it came out, and afterwards I was like left confused half the time because it's written in a way where it's like it's hard to follow unless you read it like straight through, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely if you ever read it, definitely try to read it like that if you can.
I just got to catch up on Re.
I'm hungry. I'm quite hungry. That was badass.
Yeah. So, Jin, what's your least favorite manga? Like that's full of cliche.
Full of cliche. Least favorite manga.
Just give me a hard for I could bet. Didn't you like?
I don't know. I mean, I would probably have to say, and it's really funny that we're beating up on Hiro Mashima with this. I would probably have to say, because he wrote a part of it, and it's the biggest cliche that, I mean, other ones do it and I enjoy it, but just somehow how it's written for the series, I hate it. Like every time I get into one of the series by it, I'm just like disappointed every time I read it. And Hiro Mashima wrote a 4-volume series of it, and then they had I think a 14-book series come out by another person, but the Monster Hunter series, whenever they do that, all the monsters are like super high powered, and then you get new armor based off of it, but then it's kind of like it doesn't really help you out or anything. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, it's a letdown.
I'm sorry that I'm a disappointment to you.
What?
I have no idea.
You didn't know that one?
Yeah.
You talk about it all the time. I'm gonna have to get it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get it.
Which one? Monster Hunter Flash Hunter or Monster Hunter Orange?
Now you're just being a jerk.
Hey,
Monster Hunter Orange is the one that Mashima made.
Okay, then that's the one.
That's the 4 one.
I never heard that one.
Otaku Mike is in the house.
What up, Otaku Mike?
Hey,
Otaku Dad Unite.
On the note of Fairy Tail, and I hate to put this under the bus, Lo Holly, but I think we both need to be a little honest with ourselves. 7 Deadly Sins has some of the problems, I think, too.
Oh no, 7. Don't get me
Seven Deadly
started on
Sins
7.
has some cliches that I agree with Toaster Cat on. a lot of time. Like I'm starting to see like, oh yeah, I do love it a lot. It is great, but you know what I mean. Like you can see it. You can see like the very what do you call it? Not general. What's the word I'm thinking of? The very I can't explain it.
Guys, even though we got some haters in the house,
Haters.
if you like those, you should totally read Fairy Tail and Seven Deadly Sins. They're not as bad as everybody thinks.
Seven Deadly Sins isn't bad until this last arc.
What last arc? What which arc are you talking about?
The final arc, the arc that they are currently in.
No!
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not saying anything.
Oh no, the final arc's way better than the last arc was crap.
This arc is the worst. This is a terrible. It's gone after the revival of the Ten Commandments. It went downhill. I hate to say it.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I think the third act is a little better because it's putting things together. But anyway.
Oh wait until you get here. Wait until you get on this wild. Are you caught up on the scans?
No.
Yeah. Wait till you get on this wild ride.
I'm caught up in the paperback.
Man, I was just telling Toaster you should try to read up so I could get to the end because the last arc is good. But you're telling me it's bad. I must just gave him bad advice.
It's all good advice in one way or another.
Either he'll love it or hate it.
To be honest, I don't like super hate Fairy Tail. Like I mean, you know, I'm not saying that, but I mean, a lot of the time when it comes to Fairy Tail, it's not so much that I'm like just woo on Fairy Tail. I think that there are some good things about it. I think it's just very bland.
Woohoo! Yeah, there you go, getting some points.
Racking up them points.
Shit, just find this guy right there.
Woohoo!
Brave.
Yeah.
And then as for what you're talking about, 7 is great too. It's just like I said, there are like cliches in it that are really kind of like a little too much. Like the friendship stuff can be a little bit too much in that as well. I think
maybe a bit too much in the friend.
But our community is built on friendship.
Yeah, it's great. The real world's built on friendship. I don't want my manga to involve friendship. I don't like people that much. Sorry, guys.
I agree. Like, I have a good example of this. Demon Slayer should have stayed just Kazuko and Tanjiro, but now we have.
I don't know, because the cliche. I always like the whole cliche of Fairy Tail with just Natsu being the friendship person, though. Because if you look at every character, at some point or another, they've all down friendship. Like it's not that. And then Natsu has been the reigning person the whole time that's been like, but it is friendship that helps you do it,
He literally says every single time, I pulled through this entire thing through friendship.
Right?
Otaku friendship.
But that's just his character.
By the way, Jin, who do you think is going to be the next Otaku dad next to you and Otaku Mike and Otaku?
Who's going to be the next Otaku dad?
Yeah.
Otaku Mike.
He is the dad already.
He's going to have another kid. He's going to have another kid.
And Migs. We're all saying Migs.
He's going to be Otaku dad times 3.
Otaku dad times 3.
Yeah, because right now Otaku Mike's times 2. Me and Flip Otaku only Otaku times 1.
I'm Otaku times 0.
Eden 0.
Oh.
I'm Otaku times -1, -1. Wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, you do it just be 0.
Yeah. I was trying to say something different. I don't know.
I was like, aMeskeOHJ,
No.
you already had a kid?
I'm like half because I have my animals. That's
well, then I guess
there's a lot of halves.
I'm a half because I got Smokey, I guess.
But you also have the lizard.
Kakuja.
Oh, but the lizard's not mine.
You gotta count all your animals. So I'm like Otaku Dad 2.1, 2.5.
You have 2 kids?
No.
I have one kid and 3 dogs.
Oh, I was gonna say. Then I have 2.5 then too.
There you go. We're the same level. Hacha.
Well, then I'm sitting at I don't know. I don't know where I'm at, boys.
You're like at one.
Yeah,
You're at 0.5.
I'm at 0.5.
Yeah, Otaku Dad 0.5.
Fairy Tale. Oh god, Fairy Tale did use a lot of time skips.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they did.
I don't mind time skips, but I think you should just have one in your story, just one, no more than one. Naruto screwed
I
up.
don't know if it progresses the story. If it progresses the story, every time they used a time skip in Fairy Tale, it was needed because you were getting to the point where you were getting tired of what was currently going on, and they couldn't fuel it anymore. Kind of like how they ended everything with One Piece on a high note when they did the time skip.
Yeah,
that's how it was. Like, and it was just the progression to get them to a better place, make them stronger, and all that. Fairy Tale did that, and they actually did it where it might have not been like a progression for the characters or whatever, but it was needed for like the world sometimes. So that's another thing I've kind of looked at reading certain manga is how did they use their time skips in it? Because sometimes it is needed, but then other times it's like, why did you do this? It makes no sense.
What is it? Oh, Old Shaman says Vinland Saga, though I'm not really sure if I never read that, so you have to say it, Jin, because you have it. Good
I
time.
haven't read it yet.
Oh, that's right. What about you, Lil Holly? Have you read it?
I have not. No.
Anybody else in the audience? Anybody else?
I want Vinland Saga. Like I want it really badly.
No, I'm kidding. I have read part of it. I just haven't read it in like 5 years,
Hey,
so I'm not counting it.
So I'll buy both of y'all some Vinland Saga if you trade me some pops.
No, because you want. I know which pop you want. I know how. No.
You got like 3 of them that I don't have, and then aMeskeOHJ has like 6 of them I don't have. I'm so upset.
I don't know.
My pride. My pop collector pride.
I know exactly. He wants my. You want my law pop.
You have like 1 or 2 other ones that I don't have too. That I'm like, I need to get those. Your Ida too. That's the other one.
How do you want Aida? What? Like, I would honestly consider you trading you Aida for something, but I think Sydney would kill me.
Who's Aida?
The speed guy from My Hero Academia.
Okay, yeah, Aida. Yeah.
I can't find him anywhere.
Yeah, dude, I give up on the My Hero Academia pups because I just can't find them. I want to get all of them, but like it's so hard to find them now.
Well, based off of that cliche, whenever you're pop hunting and whatnot, you have to wait like a couple months because I ordered some of mine offline. I was like, oh, I've seen these online going for a while, and finally the what's her name, Ocho, the Gravity Girl, and I think it's Suyu, the Frog Girl, have finally made it over to my Hot Topic, and I was like, but I've had these for like a couple weeks now, and I know they've been out for like 4 months. How are you guys just now getting them?
You're better than them. That's how.
I guess.
Do you guys get any of the anime Dorbs at all?
I do not. In fact, I am. If I get any more pops, it's going to be very specific to very specific series. Like maybe some more Harry Potter pops, the rest of the One Piece pops, and the rest of the My Hero pops.
Man, I need the rest of the Tokyo Ghoul ones. I have to get Eto and
Uda. We gotta come together, aMeskeOHJ. We'll both put up $5 and get him a Natsu pop to add to his collection.
I will attach him to a rocket.
What are you talking about? Where's the friendship of our love?
If he's strong enough, he'll survive through the explosion, through the power of friendship.
I had Natsu pop at one time, but I sold it.
You know what it's about. So what's a manga that really embraces the cliche and actually makes itself better because of it?
Embraces its cliches.
Yes.
Crap. Let's take a second. Give me a minute.
Honestly.
Oh, I know one.
Okay, go.
The Force.
Explain. We're listening. We're waiting for you. How does Fire
We
Force
don't do.
break the cliche?
I mean, like embrace the cliche.
Like how does it embrace the cliche? Like what does it do that's so
Embrace. Well, like if you ever see like, when it comes to friendship and all those things, it curves into the wall just like in any other manga. But like in this manga, it's a family, warm and comfy. It's not like friends; they're actually like a family.
yeah.
The Fire Force people. It's more about family versus friendship, and I like that a lot more because like it feels better. It feels like you want to be this group is like. It's definitely since I say they're more like that too, but they're kind of more like a middle ground, like friendship and family. They're kind of like a middle ground. But I think that Fire Force is a lot more family. So it has that kind of like friendship. We're friends. But they don't actually have it that way. It's really just kind of like we're gonna help each other and take care of each other. It's not like we're
Yeah,
gonna get stripped off each
it's
other.
the whole underlying thing. Soul Eater did that too really well. Which I can't remember what's the guy's name, aMeskeOHJ, that wrote that.
Atsushi Okubo.
Yeah. Uh, uh, I just now forgot it again. But he does a really good thing of that. Like his whole thing is underlying, and I really like that how he does that. For me, I would probably have to say the king of cliche is Gintama. If there's a cliche that's out there about anything, Gintama is automatically going to absorb it into itself, and you're going to get it.
But does that really are they embracing the cliche? Or are they making fun of the cliche? I guess is that my question at that point.
I mean, I feel like they embrace the cliche by making fun of the cliche. I mean, because they do both, but then they make it into like a main story aspect for that going forward. Like, he did the whole katana thing. Like, he's got a katana, but then he was like, well, what can I do differently? Every time there's something that gets added to it. It's like a mystical katana or whatever, but then they make fun about it. Like at the end, like he accidentally broke his katana, and you're like, oh no, he lost all his power from this katana now. And then you find out it was just an ad in the newspaper or something, or on a commercial, and he can reorder it. So it's kind of like, is it really that much, or whatever?
That's what I think Gintama does kind of help embrace and help draw attention to cliches while also celebrating them at the same time.
Yeah.
My favorite manga that embraces cliche, and this one's going to be, I don't know if this is going to be controversial, but I don't think anyone's going to see this coming. I think One Piece is a super cliche manga.
Cliche?
Agree.
I think it's very full of cliches.
I haven't read it, so I have no idea.
You haven't? How have you not read One Piece? It is literally the most popular manga.
But it is also the longest manga, too, so it's terrifying.
The longest? Oh, boy. I got to get you into Hajime no Ippo.
But, yeah, I know. My bad. That's right. Hajime. And isn't Case Closed kind of like even longer than, what do you call it? Case Closed isn't it longer than even One Piece at this point?
Yes. Yes, it is. Case Closed.
Case Closed is up to volume 69.
95 in Japan.
It's catching up.
It is.
I think I might have said it wrong then. No, it's up to 80 something that I have.
Please. I can't. My phone is not. If I read the comment, the chat, and my phone's like it's right in the crack where I'm trying to read it.
Man, but anyway, so One Piece is, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love One Piece. But it follows a lot of major cliches. They say the attack names before they even use them. They rely on friendship a lot. They have power-ups, time skips. They literally, if you name a cliche thing, they probably have it. They don't change clothes, which is something that you mentioned before. The only thing that Luffy doesn't have is a crazy hairstyle, but he has a straw hat to make up for it. Like every cliche that we have mentioned today has been used in One Piece. Every single one. Except for legitimate numbers in a power scale.
Yeah.
True.
Oh man, but
So,
Simply G said Haikyuu is a perfect example of embracing the cliche,
the one I
because
haven't read.
it embraces because it embraces, you know, the friendship, the contests, the competition, all of that, and it acts upon it. But like I said,
Wait, oh yeah, by the way, just quick thing. I was talking to them before. We should try to get they said a lady on the live stream sometime.
oh no, absolutely, that is 100% in the plan. Actually, I want to, when I do my Eden Zero, I want to get Manga Fairy in on it because she has been
Oh yeah,
reviewing it just as long as I have and knows it.
So, guys, gals, we're taking applications for the Lohali live stream.
just keep bugging the crap out of them every time they
Sign
do
up
this.
today.
They'll eventually you join in, like with me.
Right. It'll happen.
just keep pestering them. It's like a job, and it's like a job. You're
Luckily,
just like, keep going
Luckily
in.
is very very in tune to doing that.
I am. Anyone who wants to come in on the live stream, send your application to either myself or Jin Graves, and you tell us what you want to talk about, and we will do our best to accommodate you. Like we said, originally Jin was supposed to talk to aMeskeOHJ
Yeah,
on
Mr.
Sunday.
I totally didn't catch that. I guess the
Yeah,
whole
for this man.
I
wanted
guess the whole mishap at the end of our chat on Saturday ruined it.
We're not talking about that, by the way.
That's why I didn't bring it up, and I just said the mishap.
You caused the mishap. This one's not on me.
I have to tell you though, secretly. So I guess we started a new cliche though, because I've had some people message me and been like, "Dude, that was hilarious." I was like, "It was a mishap. I'm so sorry."
Sure you are.
You know what we should do? You know how we were doing tournament thing that one time was a tournament where you were deciding who had the best power ups, whatever.
Yeah.
We should do like a tournament to see what's the worst one.
Oh man. That would take way too long. We'd only be able to do like a list of like 8.
Like compile a bunch, a few of them here and there. Just compile the worst.
We'd have to do like everybody's top 10 and then put it in a roster all together and find out.
Looks like Otaku Mike is asking to be part of the next live stream.
Well, there you go. There's one person.
There you go, Otaku Mike.
Okay, looks like this is gonna be looks like Otaku Mike is gonna be the guest in a week and a half on Saturday, the 2nd of February.
Well, I will be in the chat talking away if I'm up in the morning. Usually I'm not up like in Saturday morning. I just like this. I always forget about it in the morning. So
it's okay. Sleep in, come in, watch it later. You know, we may not be able to have you actively in the conversation, but you'll be there. Like I said, that's part of the reason why I do, you know, the live stream on both Wednesday evenings and one on Saturday mornings, is so we can get people who have different sleep schedules.
Yeah.
I mean, a 12-hour, and I try to make it like a 12 to a 13-hour difference. That way I can guarantee, like, all right, if somebody's not normally awake during one of them, they should be awake during the other one.
Yep.
Right. I've seen Lohali at his worst on Saturday mornings sometimes, but I've also seen him at his very best on Wednesday nights.
So do you guys have any, just so we can kind of like maybe separate from Shonen for a second, do you guys have any like maybe, and I know none of us really are into shoujo and josei, but you guys have any josei or shoujo type thing, the titles you know of that have like a certain kind of cliche or whatever?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I have one, and I'm not. But again, we discussed this one slightly earlier in the day, OJ. You and I did before the stream started. So
what is it?
You go first, Jin. We'll see what yours is.
I would have to say, and it's kind of funny that it got brought up, and not a lot of people I feel like have read it. We actually brought it up in the Twitter group or whatever, and I was really shocked, and then everybody started jumping on like, that is such a good series. But my love story is totally kind of like young love, romantic cliche that breaks it still too, because the
Oh no, it froze.
He froze again. He's always freezing on us. It's all good.
Mr. Jin.
While we're waiting for him to get back with us, what's one of your shoujo josei? Like, what is one of them that you read that you
Like or dislike?
that you like? Let's go with like.
Okay, I like. Now this might be something, and I think Vodakoi has some of this as well. If you ever read, I watched the end of the anime. I read a bit of the manga, but I think this is really cool. And this is just again, this is me coming into shoujo for the first, or not shoujo, but josei for the first time. And even with my boy, I'd say, well, not really even that, but I kind of like. No, my boy doesn't have that, but I kind of like watching him romance. And this, I've said this before. I'm not a huge fan of romance, but if a romance has it where there's like a common goal for both the love interest who are to go for it, like they're going, like they have a job or they have like a project they're doing or something like that, where at the end goal it's that, but that and alongside that they fall in love, and that's kind of like the love story.
Yeah.
That's kind of, in my opinion, like one of my favorite. If there's a cliche at all, if that's even a cliche at all, that's my favorite thing.
And I guess for me, mine is absolutely Ranma half. Technically, it's a shonen, but we all know it's a shoujo deep down. Ranma half. Actually, let me check my list really quick just to make sure that I'm, because I haven't shown. I'll do a whole video dedicated to my list. By the way, everybody.
Did I make it back yet?
You've made it
Yeah,
back.
there you go.
Dun, dun.
You're alive.
Mr.
You're well.
Freeze in this live stream.
I don't know.
Your ability is just too OP.
I release your essence.
I'll be penguin.
Let me see if I can rearrange these really.
Well, how Riddler.
But yeah, did y'all get mine? My love story?
Yeah, you said you said my love story. We got that one.
That's about it. You're like,
well, to tell the truth, all right, I'm about to be completely open and honest here. I've only read one josei series in my life.
you're a horrible human being.
It was 07 Ghost. I've read.
There you go. You should read my love story.
I've read 2 shoujo, Code Geass, The Lucia the Rebellion is technically a shoujo, and Immortal Rain.
Ooh, I've only read My Boy.
Is Immortal Rain. I've only read the first couple chapters of it, but I still counted it, like I always do. And then, yeah. But technically...
Oh, I read some Vodakoi too, my bad.
By the way, I do want to point out that there's a French publisher called Doki Doki, which is the sound of a heartbeat. That's ridiculous and over the top.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I am not reading Children of the Whales.
Is that
oh, yeah, that's right. That's a shoujo, isn't it? That's right.
I have no idea.
I've never...
Yeah, it's a shoujo. I remember hearing somebody say that before. Yeah, that's right.
Why not? Yeah, I've not started reading Children of the Whales yet.
Banana Fish, Jin. Banana Fish is shoujo.
I haven't gotten it yet. Dang it.
You did. Okay.
I was going to, and then I didn't get a chance to grab it just yet because I had the more ones.
You want to know something funny too? Remember that manga I was reading called Love and Lies, Jin? I sold that, whatever. That I've been told that that's actually a shonen, so a romance shonen, kind of like Nisekoi. So that's kind of interesting.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah,
I had to figure that out. I don't know. I just like manga. It's really hard for me to tell sometimes because they're...
Yeah, I know. It's like kill the demographic, kill it.
And then people tell me, they're like, "Wow, you read a lot of shonen too, or a lot of shoujo," and I'm like, "Do I though?"
But I mean, for me, there's some shonen manga that seem to be like shoujo. It's just they weren't classified as that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna look up the dictionary definition of shoujo,
it's for girls. I think that's basically what it's called right here. Or,
Genre of Japanese comics and animated films aimed primarily at young female audience, typically characterized by a focus on personal and romantic relationships. So if you take a look at that last part, typically characterized by a focus on personal and romantic relationships, there's a few more on my actual list that would fall underneath that, that aren't necessarily shonen, even though they're classified as that, just because... And I think I'd get into a discussion about this, but I think classifying things as shonen and shoujo are... I think it's a weird way to start to describe things, especially when we're getting further and further away from manga being representative of one central idea. Because a lot of girls read shonen, a lot of guys read shoujo, so why are they aimed specifically at a gender? But anyway, that's enough of that rant for
We're getting away from those cliches.
We're getting away from those cliches. But if I was going to say a shonen that was a shoujo that embraced the cliches of friendship, I'm going to say Angel Densetsu. Kind of falls underneath that list.
So, I want to also get into seinen cliches. Are there any seinen cliches?
Oh, there are tons of shit.
Besides edginess.
If they don't die, it ain't shonen. If it ain't seinen.
Harems.
Ooh, harem. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, God.
I mean, like, traditionally, we do consider harems to be in shonen manga as well, but technically, a lot of the stuff when the writer put it out, they don't consider that themselves.
Yeah. And let me see. I have my list looking at all the seinen that I've ever read in my life, and I have it alphabetized. Don't worry.
Okay.
A lot of them fall into some of the same cliches, but I think seinen has a little bit of an easier time avoiding some of them, but a lot of them get super serious and super dark. Like, I know that's weird to say, that's a cliche, but they get super dark super quick.
I'm not sure if this is seinen. I'm pretty sure it is.
Perviest and the most bloodiest.
What do you got in your hands there, OJ?
I'm not sure if this is seinen, but here's 20th Century Boys.
It is seinen. Seinen is
great. That's greatness.
Everyone that I've told, they're like, man, I haven't read 20th Century Boys yet. I'm like, boy, you better get on that because it is the bomb.
I'm only on the second volume, and you have to, if you get past the first like perfect edition, like it gets getting so good. Oh my god.
The thing with 20th Century Boys, and like I said, I can have full things talking about all of my series, but with 20th Century Boys, if you're going to read it, it's gonna take a volume or two, like a normal size volume, to get used to how they do the time jumps in there, how they flash back and flash forward and do all that. But once you get used to that, and after you read the whole series, you're like, okay, this all makes perfect sense. Like, he was setting this up from chapter 1, like you're like, okay, this all makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because I was when I read the volume 2, I was like, man, I'm kind of confused. Where was I last time and everything? Because it was so many confusing things in the first omnibus, and then when I got the second omnibus, I'm like, oh my goodness, it makes sense. Everything makes sense now. And this guy right here, I think he's a really cool, like, the new character they added.
I'm just gonna include this cliche then. How many of us actually read the preview at the beginning of the book?
Ooh, there's previews at the beginning of the book?
Yeah, like almost everybody does.
And you're talking about Ocho.
It's kind of like the whole thing last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, that's a shonen thing, isn't it?
I mean, everybody does it. There's some of them that don't, but almost everybody usually puts a preface because they know that you can forget what's happening in the story.
I have no idea. Like, I've never heard of this before with shonen.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of us just skip over it because we don't actually care about it.
Last time in the manga that you just finished reading 30 seconds ago.
I know one. Attack on Titan does that. That's
yeah,
not saying
this one is Fire Punch. Not Fire Punch. This one is Fire Force. Yeah. And they have the whole character thing, and then the summary's down there on the bottom.
Oh, that thing. That's totally. That thing like actually like a full preview or something like that. The last chapter. The next
No,
chapter.
usually it's only a little paragraph or something to
Oh,
kind of like get you back into all the main points.
shonen thing. I think that's more of a shonen thing. Yeah.
But I know a lot of us skip that stuff.
I always do. What's the point? I know already. Of course, you haven't read a volume in a while.
But yeah. So I'm gonna be wrapping this up because I gotta do some household chores. You guys have anything else that you want to add to this cliche train?
You Jin go first, man, because I have some thoughts.
Vote me for president.
Okay, I can live with that. Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I was like, you put me on the
know
spot. I couldn't come up with anything.
You know what? I have something here actually, and this is something that's been kind of new. And I know only Jin and me have this. I think. Well, maybe you have this. I'm not sure if you have this, but this is a manga that's been kind of confusing everybody. I think, and I think it's actually a shonen, but it's specified as a seinen, but it's kind of confusing. And come on, Jin, you just talked about this earlier in your manga haul. Both have it. I just read it.
Oh, possums.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I was talking to Samuel Trejo about this, and he said my comments, and he said that it's actually it. I guess Nihei doesn't normally do shonen, but like he this is kind of like his manga where it's basically his shonen, but it's still very seinen-y.
Right. I think the only thing that makes this one a shonen one is because you can actually understand the time skip instead of reading the first volume being like, I don't understand where I'm at. What's going on?
That's true.
I mean, I read the whole thing of Blame, and the whole first one, I didn't know what I was supposed to be getting into, where it was. Like, I didn't understand any of it.
Yeah,
How
man,
did we get to where we were?
the Netflix movie. The Netflix movie was trash for Blame. It wasn't as bad as Nice as Sidonia. That the anime for that was the worst.
The worst was 100% hands down. Ooh, that Full Metal Alchemist was bad.
What was it?
Full Metal Alchemist was a terrible anime.
Oh,
Live action adaptation.
Oh, I didn't think it was. Well, it was kind of.
It literally they literally created it to hit the high notes of the series. But anyway, like I was saying, but what other? You said you had a few more points that you wanted to talk about. What else did you want to talk about on the cliche side?
Well, who? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was a possible. I want to say before we go, we should all say our least favorite live action anime movie before we leave. That's the last thing we do.
All right. Do you tell everyone where they can find you if they haven't ever seen you before?
Jane, go first.
Jin, as usual.
I'm Jin Graves. You can find me over on Jin Graves, obviously. The man, the legend, whatever aMeskeOHJ and Lohali tell you about me. I don't know. I have a lot of title add-ins. The man, the legend, the sage. Yeah.
All right, find him at his channel.
Yeah, find me at my channel. I'm here all the time. I'm Lohali's co-host.
You are the co-host of the Manga Club.
My least favorite live action, I don't know, all of them are pretty crap.
All of them.
I mean,
it's got to be Dragon Ball Evolution. It's got to be.
What? That
Dragon Ball Evolution.
I have a history of Dragon Ball Evolution.
That's not real. That was never made.
What about the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie?
That was never made either.
That's my least favorite, yeah.
Those were never made.
You stick to your guns.
Exactly.
All right, Jin, your turn.
Jin.
Hey guys, I'm
Not
back
Jin.
again.
Sorry, I was looking at you, OJ, and I said Jin. That one's on me. My bad. OJ, it's all you.
Oh, Jin.
Hold on a minute. Hey guys, my name's aMeskeOHJ, or he's aMeskeOHJ. Hello.
He brought in Snorlax.
Evil Snorlax.
Evil Snorlax showed up.
Wait, I got you. Evil Snorlax, where can we find aMeskeOHJ at? Channel and everything.
Fucking channel, Chin. You know where to fucking find him.
At his channel.
Hamster cage.
Wait, I should have watched the effing words. Sorry.
It's all good. If Evil Snorlax didn't make an appearance, I'd be worried.
Right.
You can find me on my channel. You can find me at Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me. You used to find me at Discord. I'm still on there, but I don't have the app anymore. And also,
if you can find Jin Graves, you can find aMeskeOHJ.
Well, Jin Graves doesn't use Instagram, so.
True.
It's
on that. Anything else that you want to add before I do the last sign out of the day?
My least favorite live action movie is Last Airbender, just because that's the only one I never liked. I never liked the anime. Yeah, the anime do it. I never liked any of it. It was all trash to me. So.
Oh man, those are fighting words. Them is fighting words. All right, and that's apparently the last time that we're gonna see aMeskeOHJ on here because man, those are just fighting words. I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's okay. You guys need to get some more people on here besides me anyway. I want to see more people on here. Like,
oh man, what about the Pokemon live action movie coming out?
We haven't seen it yet. I can't give a comment. I can't give a comment yet.
Yeah.
But all right. So everyone, my least favorite live action movie is a tie between Dragon Ball Evolution, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Full Metal Alchemist, though it's probably Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What Death Note?
I didn't watch Death Note. You know that. You know the reason for that.
You hate.
I despise Death Note. Okay, it's
don't lie to yourself, Lohali.
Next
Death
live
Note
action.
is your favorite.
Next live action is Evil Snorlax visits Jin's house.
Ooh, that's gonna be an interesting live action anime. So everyone, thank you for watching this live stream dedicated to mainly cliches with a little bit of back and forth with Jin, aMeskeOHJ, and myself. Smokey has finally made his appearance.
Smokey!
I was waiting for that.
Everyone was waiting for that. What's up, Smoke?
Oh, hey, bud. Look at him.
So for everyone new and old, welcome and welcome back. It's your boy Lohali, signing out, and catch us on Saturday. A week from this coming Saturday, by the way, January 2nd. We'll see you then. Peace.